Number 6, we're asked to turn this set of rectangular coordinates into polar coordinates. So this is a rectangular coordinate, so this is x, this is y, and we're going to use these equations again. R equals square root of x squared plus y squared. Theta equals inverse tangent of y over x. And we'll plug in our y and x and get r and theta, which will give us our polar coordinates. All right, so r is going to be equal to the square root of x squared, so negative 2 square root of 2 squared, plus y squared, 2 square root of 2 squared. And notice that each of these, both of these are going to be the same thing. Negative 2 square root of 2 squared and 2 square root of 2 squared are both going to be positive. Make sure that when you're doing these, you don't make this a negative number. Anytime you square a number, it's going to be positive, because if it's positive, then a positive times a positive is positive. If it's negative, a negative times a negative is positive. So make sure you're getting positive numbers for those. All right, negative 2 squared is 4. Square root of 2 squared is 2, and 4 times 2 is 8. So this is 8. This one will also be 8. So this is the square root of 16, which is 4. And again, we want to be in the habit of calling this plus or minus 4 whenever we do a square root. But we're always going to have our r be positive, and then with our theta, we'll make sure that our theta gets us in the right quadrant. Okay, so r is 4. Theta is the inverse tangent of y over x. So y here is 2 square root of 2. X is negative 2 square root of 2. So 2 square root of 2 divided by negative 2 square root of 2 is just going to be negative 1. So this is the inverse tangent of negative 1. And then if we look on our unit circle, negative 1, the tangent is going to be negative 1 out here and down here. This angle is 3 pi over 4, and this angle down here would be 7 pi over 4. So the inverse tangent of negative 1 is 3 pi over 4 or 7 pi over 4. So now to figure out which one we're going to use, we look back up here again. Here the x is negative, so if we plotted this point, we'd go back for a negative x. And then the y is positive, so we're going up for a positive y. So we're going to be in this quadrant, so we're going to want to use 3 pi over 4. So our answer here is going to be 4, that was our r that we found, and 3 pi over 4.